It's been a while since the last group videos, so I figure it will be awesome to do another one. Today guys, we're going to talk about the Olympus XII Digimon that are based after the Roman version of the 12 Olympians, the Decascentes. The Decascentes was a list of 12 measured deities, 6 god and 6 goodness, in the pantheon of ancient Rome. Now back to the Digimon. So it's a group of 12 Mega Godmen Digimon. So I'm so hyped for this one, so without further ado, let's just get straight to it, because yeah. The Olympus XII managed a digital world, Iliad, which exists on a different server from the digital world ruled by Yggdrasil. However, they possess ability rivaling that of the Rule Knights, so the Knights have not felt the need to personally interfere in Iliad's affairs. The members of Olympus XII protect their own domains while maintaining a position of neutrality regarding the accidents which arise in the digital world. But some Digimon with a similar goal, like Plutomon, are excluded from their number due to their cruelty in its pursuit. The force that defy the will of the Olympus XII and oppose them in battles are never ending, to the point that the hated of the Digimon they have defeated has been reborn as Titamon, who seeks to have their heads. The members of the Olympus XII resemble humans, either wearing armor based on a specific animal or fused with an animal body. The group is essential to the story of Digimon heroes, and many of the Digimon as appears in the franchise but are not part of the group, but they just didn't mention it, I'm guessing. The first member is Apollomon, a Godman Digimon that conceals solar class flame energy. This energy has the terrifying power to smell all substances, and its almost heartless fervor and pride are barely restrained. If you never heard of him before, you should totally play Digimon Dust or either down, because you'll see why. And Apollomon is also a member of the Bagua army, and some of the other Olympus are part of that group as well, but it's not like the same thing exactly. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's not the same thing, okay? So don't get it confused, don't worry about it. And there's also Apollomon Whisper, that is the form invoked by the evil Whisper that Bargramon inserted into Apollomon. Looks pretty cool, huh? Now we got Bashusmon, that is a Godman Digimon as well. So he styles himself to digital world foremost drinker. It is a very caring with a cheerful personality, and gathers rookie or champion Digimon to hold parties days and night. Because it is able to distill any kind of alcohol within its body, it is said that at parties, he answers the request of the Digimon he has befriended and treats them to alcohol. He prefers the taste of fruit wine, and his favorite fruit wine is something fermented from the sweet born by the Carpus Ulforus carried on CERESMON back. So whenever he can snatch a moment, he eagerly requests CERESMON to let me brew fruit wine. For that reason, it is on a very good terms with CERESMON, and they often act together. Also, the data of Bashusmon is distilled poison has become an object of study for the crack team, and the rumor questioning whether Bashusmon's poison data is related to the preparation of a bacteriological weapon and is part of the plot to assassinate an important person is whispered as if it were true. This Digimon can also go into Bashusmon Desumon. That looks pretty terrifying. Actually, kind of reminds me a little bit of Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z. Oh, and we got another Godman Digimon. This time it's CERESMON, a monstrous gigantic bird Digimon that carries on its back the Carpus Ul, aka the fruit forest, a forest bearing the digital world's greatest sweets and famous fruits. With a body composed of rock and rich, fertile soil, CERESMON's soaring form is definitely the epitome of an island floating in the sky. Sitting on the head of CERESMON is CERESMON Medium, which serves as its true form. So we might as well speak on this Digimon now. It is an avatar used to convey its will. He has practically nil fighting strength and so rarely, if ever, comes out in public on its own, but it is said that he will occasionally show himself unintended by the monstrous bird to those who earn its trust. Its personality is filled with gentleness and a kind heart. It is said that he holds out the kindness of its Carpus Ul lit, the fruit forest actually, to hungry Digimon, and shelters injured Digimon in its will until they recover. However, it will reverse its attitude and bring terror as if a demonic forest to those who forget the blessing granted by the forest and land, and unnecessarily injure the trees or pollute the soul. Now we got JUNOMON, that is Jupiter's Mon partner. He stands up on the battlefield as a lover and defender of Jupitermon. He predicts, detects, and eliminates the insurgent who defy Jupitermon's will. Maybe it's because of its profound love for Jupitermon and personally overflowing with affection, but he has a grasp of all Jupitermon habits. Now to the other form of JUNOMON, that is the HYSTERIC mode. So it was an evil personality sleeping within the innermost depths of its heart, but was awakened. The forces opposing its beloved Jupitermon are never ending, and if their time together diminished, It begins drawing the darkness of its jealousy. Its vitality gradually drains from its countenance, and when it is entirely filled with darkness, a mask of another face manifests. The surrounding Digimon that he sees through the mask are all perceived as evil, so he runs the whole gamut of slaughter. However, this form is never noticed by JUNOMON, so he never suffers the judgment of good and evil. Now it's time to talk about MARSMON. That is a Digimon god of war, which has the appearance of a panther man. MARSMON is familiar with all the ways in the world to fight dirty without weapons, and has absolute confidence in battles, which others in the same weight class. He uses basic wrestling techniques, but he fixated on victory and glory, so when push comes to shove it, he won't hesitate to use constant weapons like its Triumph Knuckle or Metal Turnus. However, he exhibits its real power when he uses bare hand and feet. Moving on to MARSMON now, a Digimon god of genius who boasts of being the fastest in the digital world. It is able to outstrip the fattest runner, becoming impossible to perceive with the naked eye. So it is said that all image of MARSMON, records and documents are just after image. He hates to stay in the same place, and as it is always wandering the digital world, it is surely difficult to encounter. MARSMON excels in shamanism, and his favorite knife, HYSTERIC, is able to slice through space. So now, a little question, who do you guys think is the fastest? Is it MARSMON or Olympos Digimon? Let me know. Okay, now let's talk about MARSMON. That has the appearance of a maiden warrior wearing snakeskin. Though he has an extremely short physique, he possesses superhuman strength, and he used to freely wields a great sword Olympia. As large as its own, he possesses a cheerful personality due to its childlike innocence. But when his emotion become violent, unstable, he gets into a bad mood which causes selfish and willful, problematic behavior that no one can help but cut with. And there's also two other alternate forms to that Digimon that are MARSMON X and MARSMON. MARSMON. Hey. Next up is Neptune, a Digimon god of the sea which covers all aquatic Digimon. The scale male, which covers Neptune's body, is made of chrome Digizoid that has been transformed into blue Digizoid, which excels in agility, so it is capable of moving at terrifying speeds at sea. It constructs a castle to reside within the Abyss Sanctuary at the far depths of the sea, so that only those who can withstand the water pressure of the extreme depths may enter. Now we got VULCANUSMON, a Digimon that is filled with compassion and rules over love. Wherever VULCANUSMON is, beautiful flowers bloom profusely no matter how ruined the soul is, and the land's youthful vigor is revived. It is said that there are many Digimon who serve the pure and beautiful VULCANUSMON. VULCANUSMON can correctly perceive the world with its mind eye by blindfolding himself, and he isn't taken in any lie or deception. Furthermore, it restrains its overflowing glamour by concealing its pupils, so it's also a consideration to keep from adding more swooning Digimon. VULCANUSMON is always accompanied by its bird Olive and its Scaloop Auten, small friends who can speak animatedly and unreasonably with VULCANUSMON. Because it is a Digimon that rules over love, it uses a fighting style that pacifies the opponent's heart with each gesture. VULCANUSMON, so if you put a little space, you know there's a funny word in there. I mean, it's not really funny, but anyways, a Digimon god of smitery. Most well-known weapons are the work of VULCANUSMON, and the famous Berenja shotgun cherished by Billzomon is also an article of VULCANUSMON, as well as Astamon Pride machine gun, the Orosalmon, and Speromon's twin pistols, the Zanahoria. He has an artisan pride and a stubborn personality. He sees through the competence of its clients, and when he feels that they cannot master or will not treasure the weapon, he will deny the request. When building, he performs with a standard of work corresponding to the other party. As such, Bergena, that he puts all of its effort into after being charmed by Billzomon's power, is considered to be an excellent article, even by VULCANUSMON. Although it's a Digimon that freely manipulates 8 arms and works in silence, he exhibits an artisan style even in battle. However, VULCANUSMON's own ability is not that great, so he prefers working behind the scenes to fighting in person. Now, let's talk about Jupitermon. It is a Digimon that rules over thunder and weather as the god that presides over the skies, and is JUNOMON's partner. It is always judging good and evil on the battlefields and metes out divine punishment to those who choose evil. He makes the decision dispassionately, wholly excluding any emotion from his judgments. It is said that if someone who continues to disagree with Jupitermon's judgment challenges Jupitermon's and wins, the judgment will be overruled, but he said that none yet exists who could overturn it. It is similar to Plutomon as far as punishing evil, but he would not admit Plutomon to the Olympus XII due to its cruelty, and it's said that there's always been a long-standing discord between the two. And there's also another mode that is called the Rack mode that looks sick. Now to one of the best of the Olympus XII, that is Dynamon. So he presides over water and ice and is able to fight even when the surroundings are below absolute zero. Just as the moon has two sides, light and dark, its personality is of a two-sided nature, and its beauty consists of terrifying power. He wears the Goodnight Sisters on both of its legs. Now to a mythical galaxy Digimon, said to have been once born from the fusion of Apollomon and Dynamon of the Olympus XII. So when the digital world Iliad was visited by unprecedented crisis by colliding the opposing energies of the sun and the moon together, he formed Big Bang class energy within its body. Because of this, it has been predicted that Grace Novamon himself has become a standalone galaxy, and it is said that it is impossible to measure its total data size accurately. Fun fact for you guys is that when Digimon World Registry Zico was in development, the producer, Kazumasa Habi, requested Kenji Watanabe to design a Digimon that was both a member of the Olympus XII and Olympos Mega form. This Digimon was originally planned to be Bashuzmon and take design cues from the mythological Shonen Doji. However, because it was hard to incorporate wine-based elements with Ogumon's design, the Digimon was redesigned to focus just on being Ogumon's Mega form, but they still wanted to connect it to the Olympus XII. Watanabe based his Digimon relationships to the Olympus XII on Greek mythology, where the 12 Olympus and the Titans were enemies, and because Agumon was quite Titanish, the Digimon was named Titanmon. How cool is that? So yeah, that was the Olympus XII, a pretty sick group I must say. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit that sexy like button, that'll be so appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more Digimon content. And thanks for watching, and if you have any suggestions on what I should do in the future, you guys can let me know in the comment section below, and it could be the next video, you never know, right? So, peace out, and have an amazing Gucci sexy day, you know it. And there's also rumors that the next Digimon story game will have the Olympus XII, so how amazing this could be. It better be true, right?